All right, let's talk about something that's a huge deal for pretty much every student out there, building a daily routine that actually works. And no, I'm not talking about those insane 18-hour study schedules you see online. We're talking about a real, balanced, sustainable system that's going to boost your focus, your energy, and yeah, even give you more free time. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You tell yourself, tomorrow I am finally going to fix my routine. You plan out the perfect day, right? You'll wake up early, exercise, study for hours, and then tomorrow actually comes. You hit snooze, you start scrolling on your phone, and before you know it, the day's just gone. If that's you, trust me, you are not alone. It's the classic student struggle, but we can fix it. First things first, we got to reframe what a routine even is. It's not a prison. It's not a cage. Think of it like this. It's your mind's operating system. Seriously. Your phone needs good software to run smoothly without crashing, right? Well, your mind is the exact same way. A solid routine is the software update your brain has been begging you for. And here's why this is so important. Most students don't struggle because they're not smart enough. Not at all. It's because they lack structure. You either fall into the trap of overworking yourself into total burnout, or you underwork and you fall behind. A balanced routine is the key to finding that successful sweet spot right in the middle. You've got to remember this. Motivation is just a feeling. It comes and goes. You can't rely on it. Discipline, though, that's a system. It's the structure you build into your day that literally carries you forward, even on the days you don't feel like it. Your routine is what makes success feel almost automatic. Okay, so let's actually build that system. And it all starts with the most critical part of the entire day, the morning. How you start your day really does set the tone for everything that follows. If you can begin with calm control, you're going to feel in control all day long. And the process is way simpler than you might think. First, wake up calmly. Somewhere between, say, 5:30 and 7 a.m. gives you a nice quiet head start before the world goes crazy. Second, move your body for just 5 minutes. That's it. It gets your blood flowing and signals to your brain that it's time to be alert. And third, fuel your brain with a light breakfast. Give it the glucose it needs to start strong without feeling sluggish. Now here is a crucial point. The golden rule of the morning. Do not check your phone for at least the first 30 minutes. It's like inviting a crowd of people to shout their opinions at you before you're even fully awake. Instead, drink some water, let some natural light in, and do a few stretches. I love this analogy. Think of your body as a Wi-Fi router. You have to turn it on and let it boot up before your brain can properly connect. And this is why that morning focus is so incredibly valuable. Your brain is at its absolute sharpest right after you wake up. Your willpower is a full battery. Wasting that peak cognitive window is a massive loss. I mean, look at this. One single hour of deep, focused work in the morning is way more effective than 3 exhausted hours of cramming late at night. It's not even a fair fight. So how do you harness that power? Try the Pomodoro method. It's simple. You set a timer for 50 minutes, and for those 50 minutes, you give your hardest subject your pure, uninterrupted focus. No multitasking. Then, when the timer dings, you take a 10-minute break. But here's the key. It has to be a screen-free break. Get up, stretch, look out the window. Give your brain actual rest, not just a different kind of stimulation. Okay, you've conquered the morning. Fantastic. Now let's tackle the afternoon, which, is where focus often takes a nosedive. This part of the day isn't about forcing more deep work. It's about shifting gears into active engagement and managing that inevitable energy slump. So when you're in class, don't just be a sponge, passively soaking it all in. Be a processor. Take notes, sure, but constantly try to rephrase the concepts in your own words. That's the real test of whether you get it. And right after class, take just 2 minutes to summarize the main points. Active learning is like carefully planting seeds of knowledge. Passive listening is kind of like just throwing him on the ground and hoping for the best. And we all know it, the dreaded post-lunch slump. It's real, but you can beat it. The solution is to have a lighter lunch and then follow it with a strategic reset. A quick 15-minute power nap, or even just a brisk walk outside can completely recharge your brain, giving you a total second wind for the afternoon. Look, your brain is just naturally a bit slower in the afternoon, so don't fight it, use it to your advantage. This is the perfect time for all that hands-on, practice-based work, solving problem sets, outlining an essay, making flashcards. Use this time for active doing instead of trying to absorb heavy new theories. So as the day starts to wind down, we get to the evening. And let me be clear, this is not about cramming in more study time. After a long day, this is your chance to decompress productively, balancing some physical activity, some creativity, and a little light review to lock in what you've learned without burning out. So here's the blueprint for that. Start with 20 to 30 minutes of movement, anything from playing a sport to just dancing around your room. It helps burn off all that stress. Then, do something creative to use a different part of your brain. And finally, just a light review of your notes from the day. Quick, painless, and super effective. And please, don't overlook this creativity piece. It's so important. You are not a studying machine. A creative hobby, whether it's drawing, writing, playing music, it acts like a reset button. It switches your brain out of that intense analytical mode, prevents burnout, and honestly, it just makes life more balanced and exciting. Okay, now for the final and maybe the most crucial phase of all. What you do in the last hour of your day determines how well you start the next one. A great morning doesn't begin when you wake up, it begins the night before. Here is your shutdown ritual. First, take 5 minutes and write down 3 to 5 specific, achievable tasks for tomorrow. This gets all that stress out of your brain and onto paper. Second, have a digital sunset. No screens for at least 30 minutes before bed. That blue light seriously messes with your sleep quality. And finally, you have to prioritize and protect your sleep. Never, ever sacrifice sleep for study time. It's a terrible trade. Here's why. All that information you took in during the day gets processed and converted into long-term memory while you sleep. Sleep is literally the save button for your hard work. Skipping it is like closing a document without saving. All that effort could just disappear. So we've covered the what and the how, but none of it really matters without the right mindset. A perfect plan on paper is pretty much useless if your psychology is working against you. This is the part that makes your routine truly last.
And here's the core idea. Consistency will always, always be intensity. It is so much better to study for 4 focused hours every single day than it is to cram for 12 hours and then completely crash. Stop comparing your study hours to others. This whole thing is a marathon, not a sprint.
And finally, be kind to yourself. You are going to have off days. Everyone does. The key isn't perfection, it's resilience. If you fall off your routine for a day, don't beat yourself up and abandon the whole system. Just restart the next day. That's it. It's that simple.
So let's recap the entire blueprint one last time. It's pretty straightforward, right? Your morning is for deep focus, the afternoon is for practice and application, the evening is for movement and creativity, and the night is for resetting and recharging for the next day.
In the end, this structure isn't about restriction, it's about creating freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from last-minute cramming, and freedom from that awful feeling that you're always behind. The discipline you build today buys you that freedom tomorrow. The only question left is, how are you going to use it?